1964, I was early 20s. I had just finished doing my master's degree at New York University, and I had a BA in history from Hamilton College. And I taught for 1 year in New York City in a very difficult junior high school, where the students were very very uncooperative, let me say, okay. And it drove me out of teaching. I taught for 1 year there, and I had to quit because for health reasons. I was so upset by the students. But I knew I wanted to teach. I was happy to end up at St. Paul's College. I intended to stay 2 years. I told Mr. Speak I'm going to stay 2 years. And I have now been in Hong Kong for 54 years, something like that, you see.
What qualities does St. Paul has?
St. Paul's, like all these schools, follows the English traditions, for example, of having a uniform, a school uniform. We never had that in America. I wish we had. But what I was trying to say was I noticed St. Paul's students, on the whole, are very good about their uniform. Now, one reason for this, I think, is because of a previous principal called E.G. Stewart. There were two Stewart brothers, and the younger brother, E.G. Stewart, was an army man. I was told that he used to line the students up in the playground. He would line the students up, and as a former Army E.G. Stewart, Colonel Stewart he was called, he would inspect. He'd go down the line of students and look at their shoes, and their shoes had to be shined. And the right socks, you know, and he didn't allow white socks or this sort of thing or something, and had to look right. So a tradition, this is how traditions are born, and they start. And luckily, I think this has continued in St. Paul's.
So St. Paul's College is Hong Kong's oldest school. Do you have anything that you want to share on it?
To me, I felt very fortunate to become part of a school that had an interesting and long history, even though it was at times it stopped and started again and so forth. My hope for the future is that it doesn't forget the English contribution. The contribution, you know, 100 years ago, even earlier this century, made by the Anglican Church, the English teachers who were here, the English principals who did so much to establish the school and make it what it is today, really.